Hey, this is Matt Smith. I would just like to take a few minutes to explain the long pause bench press variation. Uh, this is a form of underloading. So in other words, you're using light weights to get stronger rather than going to the well every week and using heavy weights and risking getting hurt all the time. There's three reasons why I like to use the long pause. Reason number one is it builds tremendous strength off the chest. I think this is because the pause is essentially an isometric hold, and isometrics build strength not only at the position of the hold, but also at joint angles close to that position. So in other words, by pausing at the chest, you're building strength in the range of 1 to 2 inches above your chest to 1 to 2 inches below your chest. You're building strength in that range, not just at your chest, which kind of makes sense. Reason two, I think it teaches you how to stay tight and how to use your lats and triceps to bench press. A lot of the reason I believe bench press variations help build strength is that they teach you how to use your body in different ways. So by pausing for an extended period of time with your elbows tucked in correctly, you're going to learn how to hold the weight with your lats and triceps, not with your chest or delts. Um, the long pause is going to teach you how to load your body up at the bottom, and it'll also show you what body positioning is best to fire from for you. So where you're strongest at where you're strongest at the chest and how to get into that position and how to fire from that position. Reason three, I think, is at least partially psychological. I think Donnie Thompson said something like, you have to learn to live down in the hole. And he's talking about squatting. You have to learn to live down there, and you have to learn to love it. I think it's the same for benching. For most of us, the hardest part of the lift is down at the chest. So instead of running from that truth that we all suck down at the chest, you need to learn to embrace it and use that fact to get stronger. So this is how I do a long pause bench press, and I think it's probably the best way. Someone else will probably tell you to do it another way, but here it goes. So you're going to want a spotter. You're going to want to tell your spotter that you want a 3-second pause. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and then press command. I wouldn't recommend going off your own count because time is going to feel a lot slower to you when you're holding the bar at your chest. Everything's going to kind of slow down. You're going to think you paused it for 3 seconds, but it's probably going to be like no seconds, half a second. That'll even happen to some degree with the spotter, but it won't be as bad. So after you tell your spotter you want a 3-second pause, bring the bar down. You're trying to bend the bar towards your feet and coil up tighter and tighter like a spring as you bring it towards your chest. You're going to freeze the bar. You want to stop it as fast as you can as it touches your t-shirt. You do not want to rest the bar on your chest. The bar should basically be hovering like right above your chest, and all the weight is supported in your hands. So you could basically fit like a piece of paper in between the bar and your chest. You're going to stay frozen like a statue until you get the press command. When you get the press signal, explode into the bar as hard as you can. Do not sink down at all after you get the press command. Once you get the press command, violently press into the bar upwards. You're trying to move the bar first with your triceps, with your arms. So you don't want to flex your chest to get the bar moving. You want to fire your triceps. Kind of a good cue for this is to shove the bar off your chest. Shove it rather than press it. And after that, you just got to grind it out to lockout. I would really recommend using this lift for max effort. So you're going to take a single at about 90% of your max, then 95%, then try and set a new PR. Okay? Keep in mind that you're going to be weaker with a long pause than with your regular bench press. So when you're first trying it, err on the side of too light rather than too heavy. You can also use the long pause for reps, although I think anything over 3 reps would be pretty brutal. You can also add bands or chains, as the contrast they give will teach you to store energy. So as it's heavier at the top, lighter at the bottom, you're storing some of that energy from the top as you bring it down, and you can kind of call on that stored energy to drive the bar back up fast. You could also use boards. I would pick a board height at or a little bit below a sticking point and do a long pause there. Just remember, we want to be holding the bar with our hands, not resting it on the board. Here, reps might be more helpful than they were with the long pause at the chest. I would also try different grips. Some people can get more lat activation in close. Others can use more lats when they are out wide. You have to find what works for you. The long pause bench press is a tool that helped me bench 410 raw in the 181 weight class, and I struggled for probably something like 4 years to be able to break the 400-pound barrier before I started implementing this. So I think it's a really great tool. Try it out and see if it works for you. Thanks.
Right. Excellent. Nice.